Gentlemen, ladies, hope you're doing all right. Hopefully, you can hear me all right. This is another off the top. I'll have a reflection for you later. But first, though, one of the most important things to do. Hopefully, you got one lit, or you will have one hit lit, lit here fairly shortly. Hopefully, after this, I'm not expecting this to take too long. I can have a little bit of lunch, because that would be good. Now, I know you know that I don't always light my cigar. What's up, cat? I don't always light my cigar. Now, before I do one of these videos, sometimes I got other stuff going on, so I light it first and get to smoke it for a little bit before I do this. Typically on my travels, though. But I like lighting it for you guys, because I want you to see how I light the cigar, because it's pretty important how you light a cigar. Now, there's different methods. That's the easiest one. You snip it, you light it, bada bing, bada boom. Make sure you toast it first. Alright. The flame was a little high on that one. I don't like using huge flames. I'd rather have it take longer and be extremely quick. And that's what smoking a cigar is for. Enjoy the cigar, enjoy the time with it, enjoy the experience. And you're not supposed to inhale. I don't care what people told you. I don't care if it's every 3 puffs and then you can. You don't inhale cigars. Those are hobo sticks. Alright, guys? You never inhale. Same thing with pipes. Pipes are more for the aroma, depending on what tobacco you get. It's a world out there. I encourage you to get into it. Just don't smoke cigarettes or vape. And yeah, vaping sucks. If you're a woman, still don't think you should vape, but I think you probably a lot more. Women can get away with a lot more stuff than men can. Alright? Especially when it comes to that. But guys, if you're vaping, stop it. Just stop. Alright? You shouldn't be. You don't look cool. Alright? You just don't. Not to men. You don't see men smoking vapes. Alright? That's a stupid habit. All this electronic crap. This is natural. Alright? There's more to it. It ends. You just can't fill it up. You don't need batteries. Sometimes cigars aren't always the best. Even the good ones. Even this, like the last one I had, well, yesterday, that you guys seen. Just was not smoking properly. Now, this one's smoking just fine. And I like this brand. Rocket Patel. Edge. And I think there's another one. I get samplers of them. They last for the longest one has ever lasted me of this type is 3 hours and 20 minutes. Now, I didn't expect that. About a couple days before, I had to work at it to get it past that 3 hour mark. I just had to puff the hell out of it. I wanted to die, but I got it past 3 hours. And after that, I figured that would never happen again. Usually, these last around 2 hours. I probably would say just under 2 hours, just over 2 hours, but I've had quite a bit of 2.5 for the most part. Never 3. But when I'm driving, because as you know, I do quite a bit of traveling. Places to go, people to see, money to try to make. And right now, I'm still in the try position. But yeah, the next time I just haven't looked down at the clock. Still smoking it. Still had a bit left. 3 hours and 20 minutes. Well, there could have been change on that, but not everyone lights it properly. You need to light a good cigar. You need to smoke it properly. Smoking it too fast ruin it. You can smoke a good cigar poorly, or a bad cigar greatly. But if you smoke a good cigar really good and properly, world of difference. Alright, guys? And ladies, the few of you who would actually do something like that. And yeah, us men appreciate it. Just don't think you're one of the guys. You're not. Alright? That's not a bad thing. We don't want you to be one of the guys. We want you to be feminine and sexy and wear your dresses. Alright? Look good smoking a cigar. It's a different vibe with you. And we like that vibe. But if you pretend to be one of the guys, we'll play along because we'd rather not deal with your crap. But we don't really think you're one of the guys. It is much different when there's no females there. So just act like a female. Be much more feminine. Your response is going to be a lot better. And probably get even more free cigars and probably more free drinks. If you're feminine. Men and women. We have lost that trait. We aren't nearly as feminine and as masculine as we should be. Grown too soft. I know. I was mentally, as I mentioned in some of my videos before, wasn't the best. But now I'm working on that. And there's still things I'm figuring out. Things I thought were good that clearly were not. That sound good, but they weren't. You know, it's too soft. Too soft on other people. Too soft on myself. And yeah, not all of us have men. Like I mentioned before, the people I really counted on are dead and gone. But there's other people, other YouTubers, and people on Rumble, you know, that I think are good role models. Alright? But just because you're strong, just because you have money, just because you can get as much pussy as you want, that does not mean you're a man. Being masculine is far more than that. It's actually raising a family if you can, choosing one woman, earning a living for them, take care of them. It's not about the amount of money you have. It's about what you do with it. It's not about the amount of muscle you have. It's what you do with it. Who do you protect, or do you use it to harm? You just have to be careful of all those things. I'm getting a whole bunch of women, especially if you have money. New is always better. Alright? I mean, it's easier to deal with. You know? It's brand new experiences. Stuff like that. But satisfying one woman for years and years to come. So I'm trying to figure out what this cat's gonna do. For years to come, alright? Seeing the same woman, getting a little older, maybe getting spots, some wrinkles, because you get older too. But keeping her and women, same thing, keeping him satisfied, much more difficult. That's the real challenge. You want to know her more than she knows herself. And you, I'm pretty damn sure, if you're a man whatsoever, you want her to know you better than you know yourself. The main reason I started this up, because I was watching a few videos, and of course cop ones. I was watching people do the stupidest things. I know many of you probably have seen a lot of those cop videos. Are quite popular. I was like, why would you act that way? Giving people, the officers, simple answers would get you out of trouble in lots of ways. It has me in many ways. Stay calm, answer the questions. They don't really want to deal with it. They probably don't want to have all the extra paperwork, And plus, if you are in trouble, be a man, be a proper woman. You did something wrong, and now you need to be punished for it. And if you are in the right, and they're doing something wrong, you still act calm. Because then they could use all your fighting or your arguing against you. Use your head, not your emotions. Emotions are good. They have their place, but they need to be behind logic. Alright? It's one of the reasons men and women work so good together. Women are too emotional. A lot of times men can be too logical. Men are too logical in many ways. Not all males. Some males are way too emotional. And they become weak because of it. I was too nice. I wasn't properly kind. But anyway, I think I mentioned that before. It's very important. Be kind, not nice. But sometimes, we aren't computers. We need that emotional base, that soft touch of a woman, mentally and physically. We don't always need to be men in there. Sometimes it helps calm us down. But typically, like I said, men have to lead. We always need to lead. That doesn't mean women can't be in charge of nothing, but whoever's at top needs to be a man. If he's not doing the job, he gets replaced. Not just any man. Alright? He has to be doing his job. Okay? Well, lots of times, logic does need to rule what's going on. If someone commits a crime, too many women want to pity them. Say maybe they had a hard life. Their daddy beat them. Their uncle raped them. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because they're making the choice to be a horrible person, to do wrong. Alright? I'm pretty sure they didn't like what's happening to them. And now they're choosing to do wrong. They should be some of the best people. But no. I'm not saying everybody who's abused like that is a criminal. But if you are, it's your choice. You're choosing to do it. And logic could say, yeah, we don't need people like you. If you seem to be doing good in prison, great. But if you seem to be causing trouble constantly, all the time, then you get thrown away. We do not need you. Alright? That's the problem with women and soft males that keep wanting to give these people a chance. Doesn't matter what kind of life they have. They have the choice. I'll be right back. Now, I think when it comes to choice, that's one of my deepest things. When it comes to reflections, choices in life, you have to look deep inside yourself. Again, don't stay there, but you still gotta look. Confess those things. Don't let your pride take you over. Having pride in yourself is one thing. Being prideful is horrible. You have to make sure you're not being prideful. Because like I mentioned before, when it comes to respect, if someone doesn't respect me, then, I'm going to give them what for, or whatever the hell people think when it comes to that. No, you lose people's respect if you lose control over yourself. Even if someone is being disrespectful, if you start raising your voice, acting like a fool, you both look like idiots. Doesn't matter what the situation was before, you both look like idiots. You need to stay calm, collected, have control over yourself. Then you'll have control over other people. Now, men, we need to control women. They need to be controlled and they like to be controlled. Now, with that said, that doesn't mean that you're a dictator, alright? You're not going to grab him by the back of the head and control him that way. Well, maybe in some scenarios, but most of the time, that's not the kind of control I'm talking about, alright? You control them by being the role model, being the leader, so they know to follow you. And that takes hard work, alright? I know it can be difficult. We were raised in a land that, in a time, not land, in a time that a lot of masculinity is looked down upon. And a lot of it's been lost. Not all of it. But a lot of it. Just like femininity. Give me a moment. And it's really too bad. Because if you look back, old movies, TV shows, pictures, the food was a little better. But I think we have so many comforts nowadays that a lot of jobs are sit-down jobs. Now, you don't stand around nearly as much. There's another reason why so many people are overweight. I think medication has a lot to do with it. I refuse to take medication. The only kind of pills I take are headache pills. Because I will admit, I can ignore a lot of pain. But headaches, just can't seem to do it. It's right in the core. Other than that, tooth pain. Other than that, yeah. I mean, I guess it'd have to be something pretty major. Had torn ligaments, broken bones. Don't worry about it. I don't want to take anything if I don't have to. But people, they see taking medication, pills as a crutch. It's not fixing the problem. It's ignoring it. Because, yeah, climbing that hill is difficult. You're going to bleed. You're going to screw up a nail. You're going to get hurt. But as long as you keep climbing, the journey's only going to make you stronger for the next climb. But ignoring those problems, taking pills, it only covers it up. And the rock slide will come down eventually and crush you. And you won't even have the tools and know how to fix it because you didn't climb up that mountain. Didn't even put in the effort. Now I'll hear like, but I need it, yada, 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 yada. Probably 2% of you actually need it. It's just a crutch because you're too lazy to look inside and confess to yourself your flaws. Confessing to yourself is one of the most important things you can do. Most of you don't. I know I did it for a while. But when I did, I improved in many ways. You're only seeing me now. Should have seen me before. But I realized the absence of masculinity and femininity and how it's destroying this country and men and women in general. But I am very glad that the young generation is very split. But it seems like we get masculinity and femininity back. But you do have the other side. That's went completely opposite. You can't mesh the two. There is no meshing. And the young generation, thank you for having enough brains and logic for seeing what's going on around you and changing the ways. They realize that they can't mesh. They'll talk, but them, the other side, that wants to kill everything and think everything's acceptable and you can be whatever you want. That's lunacy. That's crazy. Well, at least the good conservatives, at least the ones with enough logic, know that's nuts. That is so far out of the realm of truth that you'll believe anything, because you have to. If you think you can change genders, you're a lunatic. You're a crazy person, because you can't. You know it too. Every single one of them does know it. But you have to believe a fantasy, a lie. So if you force yourself to believe lies, you're going to continue to force yourself to believe lies. Because lies have to stack on top of lies, justifying this and justifying that. But you'll never be the opposite gender. You're only screwing up the one you are now. That doesn't mean some of you can't be convincing. I've never really seen a convincing female look like a dude. Maybe I have. I've seen some convincing dudes that look like women. Sorry for the barking. Part of life when you got dogs. Hopefully they aren't too loud. But anyway, you got to be careful, alright? Don't slip into the lies. There's a major bottom line truth to many things, alright? Like I said before, I can't say enough. You have to confess the truth to yourself and the lies you're telling yourself. You can't change genders, but you have to lie to yourself. But if you confess, you know that you can't truly confess it, you're not going to try changing genders. You're going to accept the one that you are. And then you're going to live a much happier life. Especially if you're before puberty, which you don't even know what man and woman is yet. Once you get past puberty, you'll be a much happier person. Just don't listen to the fools that tell you that you have to change genders, that you won't be happy. You will be. Alright, especially if you're a girl growing into a woman. You all change even more than us boys and the men do. But embrace it. Okay? We need women. You are a woman. We need men. You are a man. Alright? But you have to confess many things. How broken a lot of your views are. And people admitting that they're wrong seems to be a very difficult thing for so many. I wish it was opposite, but it is. Just confess that you're wrong, because you know that you are. You know you are. And then improve your mental state, your heart, your soul, your body. Stop putting metal all over your face. It only makes you look ugly. Right? And those of you who say they do that because they want to look ugly, because they don't want the male gaze, you're not getting the male gaze. Not from any man whatsoever. If we're looking at you, it's not because we're thinking that you're out. We're seeing something dangerous, because that's what you are. You're a crazy person. We don't know what you're going to do. You're putting metal all over your face. Some of you really bad. And tattoos. All over. You know, I'm not a big tattoo person, but a little bit here and there, but covering your body and your face with it? Come on. You know that's nuts. That's not proper behavior. That's someone whose mind isn't working right, is believing all these false notions. Again, it's about control. Control over yourself. Control over your emotions. Not just doing whatever the hell you want. You can't do whatever the hell you want. That's anarchy. You have to live within a society, not just your little tiny group in society. Doesn't mean we all have to be the same, but there's a standard that we should be living by. In previous generations, not just ours, not just the one before them, every generation has been failing the one above it, because they have not been saying, you have to live at this standard. This is our standard. We should be able to have no locks on our doors, because anyone who hurts or corrupts or steals or lies should be severely punished for it. But too many are not being punished for it. They're getting away with it. What do children do? For any of you who have wild children, especially when they get older, it's going to be harder and harder. But when they're very young, when you should be teaching them their place. And yes, you need to teach children their place. If you don't punish them properly, they keep acting out further and further. They'll keep pushing the line until you explode. Or you just give in and you're a weak parent. And you should be getting rid of. I have no pity for weak parents. But anybody who has a kid, or has ever been around children and parents, they know that kids act out. You need to discipline them. Discipline them properly. And never ever say you're going to do something you know you can't do. You can't ground them for a year. It's not going to happen. Not going to beat them to death. That's not going to happen. But if you say you're going to do something, you better do it. So be honest with yourself. What are you capable of doing? A toy you're going to throw away? Then you throw it away. Can I explain to him why? But you also remember to have patience. Alright? They're still children. You need to be patient with them. Just like dogs. You know, they're going to kind of do their thing. It doesn't mean as soon as they start barking, you beat the hell out of them. Still a dog. Still children. They don't have all the logic and life experiences you do. But you can't let them do whatever the hell they want either. Or they think they're going to be the opposite gender. Or a cat. Or run around with dog masks. On their hands and knees. Being dragged by a collar by some fat weirdo. I don't think you want that. Not if you're a sane person, anyway. Yeah. Just be careful. Alright? Be a leader. Men. Be a leader. Women, follow your men. And yes, guys, you have to be the example. Okay? You need to step it up. You have to be better than what you are right now. We all need to be better than what we are right now. You need to be leaders. It's okay to destroy. Destroy things. But make sure they're the evil things trying to destroy the good. Because if we destroy the evil, good will flourish. Right now, we aren't really destroying the evil. We lock it up for a day and it gets right back out. And sometimes people just need to be put down. Gotten rid of. Okay? I suggest men getting a cigar or even a pipe. Learning how to smoke it for the most part. Okay? Get the basics. Light it up like I did. Slightly smaller flame. You know, take your time and relax. Think about life. What you want out of it. Truly want. If it's family, happiness, a good woman, children to take care of, to raise. Another thought. I should probably be ending this here pretty soon. For the young men out there, because most older men probably have their kids already. For the younger ones, I haven't had them yet. This is just common sense, in my opinion. But maybe there's still some of you who haven't really thought about it this way. Very simply, you have sons. Be the kind of man you want your son to be. If you have daughters, be the kind of man you want your daughters to be with. And look for a woman who you want your daughters to be like. Look for the kind of woman that when you marry, that you want your sons to be with. A good woman. And for you ladies out there, I know this isn't the norm. Like I said, you need to be more feminine. Stop wearing pants so much. Oh, I know this nearly hated. But don't wear pants so much. Wear your dresses. Women belong in dresses. Now, you don't need to be like the Mormons, where I see a lot of plain dresses. Wear your nice dresses. But think about the kind of dress that you're in, the kind of clothes that you're wearing. How low cut is it? Doesn't need to be up to your neck, but it shouldn't be just above your nipples either, or just below your crotch line, or in some, just above. If you're looking for a man, doesn't matter if you're crazy and you're thinking you're gonna get the 6'5", 7 figures, 8-inch between the legs, young, muscular. Do you think he's actually going to marry you if you're wearing really skimpy things? You're a sex doll to him. All of you are. He has his pick. Why the hell would he pick you? He wouldn't. He would screw you and that's it. Because that's all you're worth. Your pretty face. You're showing off what you got. You don't have anything to offer but your youth. And you're getting older. You're becoming more and more useless. And then, when no one really wants you anymore, you'll get thrown into the trash where you chose to be. Because through all your actions, wearing all the skimpy stuff, getting railed by dudes, you'll start to hate men. But you know it's actually you hate. Because you made the wrong choice. You decided to be a whore. Now the good ones out there, they realize, yeah, if I wear that, they'll see me only as a whore. But the good dress, the one that shows off your womanly figure, which we like, but not too much. Guys will say, I want to marry her. Most of you, the guys will think, I want to screw her. So when it comes to your dress, ladies, think about what do you want men to think? Well, men will touch the whores with a 10-foot pole. A lot of males will. And like I said, the rich, powerful guys that just screw everything, which it is tempting. We are men. I understand that way of thinking. But again, self-control. The men, they don't want to deal with that kind of behavior because they know what they're getting into. What they'll have to put up with. You're useless. Other than with your flesh. And you should be more than that. I know you want to be more than that. Unless you're crazy. And if you don't want to be more than that, then reconsider your life. You are more than that. Alright, ladies? If you actually think you're no more than just flesh, maybe you had a bad childhood. Maybe you were used only for that. But unless you're being forced into a room, and there's not much I can do about that. But if you're out, and you literally have the choice, I can't feel sorry for people, for females who willingly whore themselves out. It's now your choice. Even if you had a bad childhood, even if you're raped by all your family members. If you're free, not being tied up, locked up in a room, and it's your choice to still be that, then I can't feel bad for you. It is, again, I'll say your choice. Same thing with the males out there. If you want to act like a fool, think you're all being disrespected, instead of protecting those around you, you want to hurt those around you. Even if it's a horrible childhood you had, you're poor. But if you chose to take those drugs and keep taking them, if you chose to be a mess, that's your choice. And we can get rid of you for it. So yeah, ladies, be women, and you'll get that man. Males, be men, and you'll get that woman, alright? The more women there are, the more men there will be. But first there has to be more men. Men make women. Lesser males make whores. Stop watching porn. I'm not a Puritan when it comes to that. But I am much better not watching it for some time now. But still not. Don't do OnlyFans. I know it's a desperate world out there. But get your mind off such things. Start building something. Whatever it is, focus in on that. Spend your money on that. Build something. And then giving your money, instead of giving your money to someone who doesn't even know you for a fantasy. You're never going to find that perfect woman out there. You're never going to find that perfect man out there. But we can make our lives so much better. We recognize men do need women. Women need men. And we work best together. It's stronger. We are strong separately. Men and women can do great things by themselves. But the greatest people have always had wives and husbands. When it comes to not just wealth. I know Elon. He has quite a bit of money. He did a good job. But he got lost. I know he's been with a few women now and had too many children by separate women. That's a poor role model for that behavior. That's not the way things should be. He needs to contain himself. And no, just because someone's rich or famous, they don't deserve a whole bunch of women, and women shouldn't be throwing themselves out at them. Because like I said, you're just making yourself into a whore. Alright? Shouldn't do that, ladies. You're being used. Stop using women. Women, stop being used. But it's a choice on both sides. Choices. Alright? Make the right ones. They're difficult sometimes. Like I said, I'm still on this journey. But when it comes to a lot of my choices, I look at these fools, like I was speaking about much earlier. The moronicism. Stay calm in the situation. Alright? If I'm calm, you're calm. But alright. I think that's about it. So, hope I gave you something to think about. Life is pretty simple. You just have to recognize the truth in it. And you're going to have a hard time. But it feels good after you get over that trial. Over that big stone, that root on top of the mountain. And yeah, you're probably going to see another one. But keep going, alright? You don't want an easy life. You don't want it hard all the time. You don't want it easy all the time. You don't appreciate what you have if it's easy all the time. Work hard to make good times. That's what I'm doing now. Trying. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know if anyone's even going to really even see this. Pay attention to it. But hopefully, God willing, the young man out there, one day will see this. A guy talking, smoking a cigar, and actually listen to what I have to say, and chooses to be a much better man than what he is. I hope the same thing for a young woman out there, still growing in to her femininity. Will see this and choose, I want a man that looks at me and thinks, she'll make a good wife. She will take care of my children and give me great children. And hopefully not just be a sex doll for a while until they find someone new. Sex dolls get used up and tossed away. They're never kept. Alright? There's always a better one out there. A little younger. Offer more than just your youth, ladies. Don't wait forever. Make the man better than what he could be. And men, make her better than what she could be. You two need to be whole separately and improved together. Alright. I think I'm done jibber jabbering. So God bless. Hopefully you learned something. Because I know I'm constantly learning. Listen to people better than you. They have more than you. Alright? Even listen to the fools out there, so you know how not to act. Alright. Well, I think that's about it. I generally don't talk for this long. My throat's starting to bother me. So be good. Have faith. Make the right choices. Alright? And God bless.